Everyone, welcome to our first lesson in our new unit on quadratic functions. Today we are going to cover what exactly a quadratic function is. We are going to learn how to identify whether a function is a quadratic function or not. We're going to learn some key vocabulary that we're going to use throughout this unit. We're going to be able to identify domain, range, and a vertex from a quadratic function, and then lastly we're going to be able to graph a quadratic function on the coordinate plane. A quadratic function is a non-linear function, and it can be written in standard form as ax squared plus bx plus c. A lot of these are coefficients. The main thing that you need to know is that the coefficient in front of x squared, so this a right here, cannot be equal to 0. Now there is one key factor that will help us separate a quadratic function from a linear function, and that's the degree of the given function. In the case of a quadratic function, your degree will always be 2. And you can see here the x squared gives us that degree of 2. Now, towards the right-hand side here, you'll see this picture. The graph of a quadratic function is called a parabola. So this graph towards the right here is a parabola. You need to know that a parabola is a U-shaped graph. Now on to some characteristics. The axis of symmetry is a line that divides the graph into 2 symmetrical parts. Here I want you to think of the word mirror. This axis of symmetry acts as a mirror. In the picture above, the y-axis is the axis of symmetry. It splits our U-shaped graph into 2 symmetrical parts. The equation that we are going to use today to find the axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. Now those coefficients come from our standard form equation. The point at which the parabola intersects the axis of symmetry is called the vertex. So on the graph above, the origin is our vertex. The vertex is either going to be the highest point of our parabola or the lowest point of the parabola. The vertex is the highest point of our parabola. We call that our maximum value. Vertex is the lowest point on our parabola. We call that our minimum value. So on the graph above here, our vertex is a minimum value because it is the lowest point on our parabola. Let's try a couple of examples. Looking at the example here on the left, let's identify where the vertex is first. You should have found that the vertex is the point -3, -1. Now let's identify the axis of symmetry. In this case, that vertical line, we're going to draw that dashed. Notice it goes through the vertex. Now when we're not given an equation, or a quadratic function in this case, the x-coordinate of the vertex also acts as the equation for our axis of symmetry. Now let's take a look at the vertex. You should notice that it is the lowest point on the parabola, so we should know that that is a minimum value. In this case, we are going to use the y-coordinate to express that the minimum value of this graph is y equals -1. Now take a second, pause this video, and try the example on the right side. You should have found for the example on the right that the vertex is the point 4, 4, The axis of symmetry has an equation x equals 4. The vertex is a maximum value since the parabola is facing downward, and the maximum value of this parabola is y equals 4. Now let's take the next couple of minutes and talk about some more characteristics of quadratic functions. Let's talk about the characteristics of upward or downward. When a quadratic function is written in standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, the value of a helps determine the direction a parabola opens. So when a parabola opens upward, the coefficient in front of the quadratic term will be positive. When a parabola opens downward, the coefficient in front of the quadratic term will be negative. Let's talk about domain and range. Typically, in Algebra 1, the domain will not be a specific value. So you may assume that the domain of a quadratic function is the set of all real numbers, or you may use this symbol to show the domain. Also note that the domain deals with the x values on the coordinate plane. The range, we actually have to look at the graph. We need to make sure we pay attention to the y values on the graph. The range will always contain an inequality symbol. Remember, you may not be able to see the entire graph, but that does not mean the graph stops. Typically, we have arrows that shows that our graph continues on infinitely. Let's try a couple examples together. Taking a look at this first example here, we're looking to identify 5 different characteristics from the graph that we're given. So looking at this first parabola, we should notice that the opening direction is upward. Our axis of symmetry is the equation, and remember we draw that with a dashed line, is the equation x equals 1. Our vertex can be found where our axis of symmetry intersects the parabola, and that is the point 1, -4. Remember, like we just said before, the domain is the set of all real numbers. Now let's take a look at the range. You should notice that the vertex is a minimum. That minimum value in this case is always the y-coordinate of the vertex, which is -4. The range always has to do with y. Now let's take a look. All of the y values fall above our minimum value of -4. To show this, we're going to use the inequality symbol greater than or equal to, because all of the y values that we can see fall above our vertex, but our vertex is considered to be on the graph of our parabola. Now I want you to pause the video and complete the 2 examples at the bottom of this page. The next example here, you'll notice that our parabola's opening direction is downward. The axis of symmetry has the equation x equals -2. The vertex is -2, 0. The domain is all real numbers. And since the maximum value is equal to 0, the range is going to be less than or equal to 0. Third example here, the opening direction is upward. The axis of symmetry has an equation x equals -1. The vertex is the point -1, 2. And since again we have a minimum value of 2, the range is y is greater than or equal to 2. Lastly, we're going to talk about how to graph a quadratic function on the coordinate plane. Now we're going to follow these 6 steps to graph a quadratic function in standard form. Step 1 is always to find the axis of symmetry. We're going to use the equation x equals negative b over 2a. We're going to graph this on the coordinate plane as a dashed line. Step 2, we're going to find the vertex. We are going to take the x value from step 1 and plug it into the function and solve. Then we are going to plot the vertex on the coordinate plane. Step 3, we are going to find the y-intercept. Remember, back when we learned about linear functions, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. This will always be the point 0, c. Now we're going to plot the y-intercept on the coordinate plane. Then we are going to use the axis of symmetry to reflect the y-intercept over the axis of symmetry and plot that point. Then we are going to pick another value of x either to the right or to the left of the vertex, then reflect that point over the line of symmetry again. Then we have all 5 points and we can sketch the curve by connecting the points. Remember, a parabola is a U-shaped graph. Start by finding the axis of symmetry first. Sometimes it's easier to identify the coefficients in standard form by laying out off to the side that the coefficient in front of x squared is 1, it's just in disguise. The coefficient in front of x, which is b, is 4, and then c is negative 4. So in this case, let's find the axis of symmetry. We are going to plug in, and remember, when we substitute, we always use parentheses. After completing the order of operations, we find that the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2. Now please plot that as a dashed line on your coordinate plane. You're going to take what we found here, the axis of symmetry, and plug negative 2 into x into the standard form equation we're given at the top. So now let's take a minute and use the order of operations to find the y value of our vertex. After completing the order of operations, we find that the y-coordinate of the vertex is negative 8. Now take a minute and fill in the rest of the table of values. So I'd like you to plug in 0, negative 1, negative 3, and negative 4. Please pause this video and then come back after you have done the evaluation. Now that you have finished filling in your table of values, you should have found that the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 4. Now let's take a second and graph a couple of these points. So far I have our axis of symmetry graphed. Remember that that is the equation x equals negative 2. I plotted our vertex, and I plotted the y-intercept and the point negative 1 and negative 7. You should notice that if we use the axis of symmetry and we reflect over the axis of symmetry, the point negative 1, negative 7 is one space away from the axis of symmetry. So if we move one space to the opposite side of the axis of symmetry, we get our point negative 3, negative 7, which when we evaluated, that is one of the ordered pairs that we found. We can do the same thing with our y-intercept. It is 2 units to the right of our axis of symmetry. So if we move 2 units to the left, we find our point negative 4, negative 4. Now the last piece here is to draw your U-shaped graph. Please extend your graph and use arrows to show it goes on infinitely. Now, let's find the characteristics of our parabola. So that the vertex is a minimum value. The minimum value here is y equals negative 8. Like always, the domain of a quadratic function is the set of all real numbers. In this case, our range is going to be greater than or equal to negative 8. And like we discussed, this is an upward facing parabola. We're continuing to graph from standard form in lesson 2. Bye for now.